Welcome back to the What's Your More podcast. I'm your host, Quinton Harris, and we dial into episode 138. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Discover Capital One merger that just took place this week. We also have some commentary from the Department of Justice regarding the Real Estate Brokerage Commission. Let's start with the Discover Capital One merger. We've done multiple episodes recently on credit card debt and the usage of credit cards, how to use them properly, things you can do to boost your scores. But this is big. I don't want to sleep on this. This merger between Capital One and Discover, and effectively it's Capital One taking over Discover. This is now making the largest credit card company in volume by far. And it's not even close. When you take a look at this is an example of things that happen in market trends in an industry cycle. There's this level of calm and there's this level of expansion that starts to happen. And sometimes we call it from calm to peak. When the industry starts to peak, we start to see this next level of chaos or craziness. For a credit card company, you start at normal. You got your people that fill out applications and they become card users. Then you start to expand through your banking channels, or you expand through buying information of creditors and putting out credit cards. And then the chaos happens. That's typically like your 0%. Your balance transfers 5, 10, 20 times the points. I mean, you get the picture. And then this consolidation phase starts to happen. And that's the phase we're in right now in a lot of different cycles, not just consumer credit cycle. I mean, it could be in the real estate cycle, it could be in the housing cycle. It's also in the consumer credit cycle here and the credit card. This consolidation where people say, hey, listen, we can merge our operations and we can also effectively save money, but also become one of the largest competitors in our market, in this case, the largest. And so in this consolidation phase, I'm going to put this chart that I'm talking about because I think it's interesting. You can apply it to anything. It's interesting to me because this consolidation phase, sometimes it can last 6 months. It could last 3 years, but I think we're probably at least 6 months to 9 months involved in this just based on different industries. But this is the first major consolidation we've seen on the consumer credit side of things. And I think this is a big win personally, because the 800-pound gorilla in the room has been JP Morgan Chase, and that hasn't even been close. Citigroup was a distant second. Now you've got a new player. You've got a brand new, huge conglomerate that we won't see the ripple effect of this really till about 2025, if you may, because of late 24 when this acquisition is going to take place. So it won't really roll out till 25, but this is big. I think it puts a lot of people on notice of what can come from this. And now when you're the largest player in the market, you can start to control a little bit of the market and have a lot to say, as we've seen with Jamie Dimon over at JP Morgan Chase with a lot of his commentary and the things that he's done. So this is an interesting one to follow. I think it's extremely beneficial. I'm pretty excited about it because, again, competition only breeds better experiences for the consumer. So this will be a fun one to watch, and you can even throw a little punch there and ask Jamie Dimon what's in his wallet this time. So let's jump into a little bit about the DOJ and what happened on Friday with the DOJ. This is another fascinating thing because if you go back 4 episodes, James Kleiman was on our show. He was an editor at Housing Wire, managing editor at Housing Wire magazine. And James brought a real in-depth knowledge to the Sitzer-Burnett trial. And as you recall, if you didn't listen to that episode, that was one of the groundbreaking trials in regards to Real Estate Brokerage Commission and the ideology that brokerages that were part of their local MLS and part of NAR preset and predetermined commissions, and therefore that was unfair to a seller of a home. That's a really quick way of summing up that 30-minute conversation with James. But on Friday, one of the things that came out was something that James kind of warned about on that episode was the Department of Justice peering into that same issues and saying, we kind of have some antitrust issues with this as well, and we don't think that this is correct. He warned and feared that could be an issue. And sure enough, on Friday, here's a little bit of a bombshell that hit the industry. They went into a particular case that happened before Sitzer-Burnett at the MLS Penn up in New England. And so it's very important that I preface this is about the Penn ruling. The MLS Penn was the first ruling that came out, and it was a $3 million verdict, but it was the first ruling that came out that kind of set the ground wave for the Sitzer-Burnett and all the copycat cases that have happened since then. And I think we're up to like 23 copycat cases right now. But the DOJ has come out and said that they don't think that the outcome of that court case was enough. They felt it was too laxed. And that's interesting because Their commentary says that no one will exercise the option to do what this court case suggests because they'll just find a workaround and find a way to have sellers still compensate buyers. They provided their own recommendation for the commission structure changes, calling for an injunction that prohibits offers of buyer and broker compensation by MLS PIN participants. Now, remember, that's specifically for that MLS. But the fact that they're calling for an injunction on any MLS in any court case, it does that involves real estate does kind of lead to the idea of what James was talking about on the show, that this is where it could get a little ugly before it gets better. This is not a win for the real estate industry. This is actually another step backwards because now this is another battlefront that you're seeing a trend happen here. And there's a high probability that the DOJ is probably going to come in on the heels of the Sitzer Burnett, also ask for something, and on these copycat cases do the same thing. And so the question becomes, what's next? We talked about value add and why it's important to have value and be a buyer's agent and rise above your peers. This could potentially lead to some of that cleansing we were talking about. And I think that by no means does this make it tougher for a real estate agent, but I definitely think this creates more awareness for the consumer. If you're a real estate agent, pull your hot sheets and look at some of the commission structures from all levels of price ranges and see what's going on in your market, because I'd be willing to bet you're starting to see a little bit more of this creep on there, meaning that 0% commission side of things. It is something that has escalated far greater than I anticipated. I gave this like 18 months to catch wind and keep going. We're not even 8 weeks past this date, and now it's just one thing after another, to where this is staying in the news and staying in the media much faster and much longer of a duration than I think anyone anticipated, though. This could change the way real estate is done. We'll see. But again, whenever the DOJ starts putting their nose in things, it's not a good sign. Unfortunately, this is a little bit of a step back. So it'll be interesting to follow what goes from here. All right, the third thing I want to talk about was YouTube. Interesting enough, like our channel has doubled in size in 90 days, and I can't thank you guys enough for participating in that. I would like to do another challenge and see how fast can we get to 10,000 subscribers. As we get to 10,000 subscribers, one of the things that I want to start doing, we talk a lot about credit card debt. We talk a lot about debt. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers, we're going to pull one of you off as a lucky winner. And we want to pay your credit card debt for you. But we got to get to 10,000 subscribers first. We're not there yet. We're getting closer by the day. But we get there, I will personally pay it on air, live, in person. So, guys, till the next episode of What's Your One More, please share this if you like what you're hearing. We're on every podcast platform you can imagine. If you want to leave us a review at Apple, that's the big podcast we're looking to get all of our reviews on, 5-star review. Leave a recommendation there. Would definitely love for you guys to do that. And until the next time, we'll see the next episode for the lending update with Daniel Halverson at What's Your One More.
I got one more shot, I'm gonna make it. One more chance, I'm gonna take it. I meant it when I said it, now it's time for me to do it. I got one life to live.